Welcome in, Thunder Brothers. My name's Round Disc.
And I'm Flo Rida.
And we're the Thunder Brothers.
And on today's episode, we are ranking the best and worst movies of 2024, so stay tuned.
Welcome to my house.
It's time for What's on the Menu.
What is on the menu?
What have we got cooking today?
I made it this time, which is kind of a rare occasion. I made the drink in our season premiere of season 4, Foot for Life.
Oh, wow.
We're coming up on season 5. Did you know that?
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, this is the season finale if you didn't hear it in the intro. If you were yawning or doing something else where your ears were blocked. But this is the season finale, and we got to go out with a bang.
We do.
So we're having cocktails today.
Yes.
We have the Blood in the Sand.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost cheersed you, but you guys want to know what's in here. So I got you covered, folks. In the Book of Secrets, this is 1 ounce scotch, okay? This is in the glass decanter.
Yeah.
Is what it is in. And it's like a decent priced bottle of scotch. I want to say like maybe $35, $40.
Blue Label.
It's not it's not Blue Label. It is definitely not. That's like $200.
I thought it was like 500. No, I think
300?
It's like 200.
It's between like 2 and 3. 1 ounce scotch, 3/4 ounce sweet vermouth, which we've had since you were 21 years old.
It expired in 1445.
Yeah,
so
21st birthday. And
yeah.
Oh man, you chugged a lot of bottles of that.
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't alive, but I heard about it.
That's the one bottle that's left. So.
I heard about it in the calendar. Have you heard about the calendar that just was released?
The Mayan?
It's an old Osborne relic.
Oh, they had the Osborne relic. Yeah. I'm familiar.
They found it, I think, in your parents' basement.
Oh,
you
yes.
had it.
Yeah, I did.
And it shows all the past, present, the future of this world and what's to come.
You don't get rid of those things.
You don't get rid of the Osborne relic, or bad things will happen.
They will.
Anyway, we have 3/4 cherry liqueur. And 3/4 an ounce of orange juice. They wanted it to be pressed and squeezed from a real orange, but we didn't have that. We had Aldi's orange juice. So this is what we're dealing with. And you're supposed to garnish with
with an orange.
How are you? With an orange peel, but we didn't have one of those either. So this is what we got.
It doesn't have like any smell.
No,
I've probably sniffed it about 6 times now.
Yeah, it doesn't have a smell. It's a little watered down because the ice cream truck guy was here.
Yeah, there was an ice cream truck that just drove by our house, and we ran out like little children, and we got some ice cream. Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't. I'm on a diet. Guys, I'm going 365 hard this year.
Wow, that sounds exciting,
Yeah,
dude.
I got to read freaking 45 pages or something like that, and like, I don't know,
Work out twice a day.
Work out twice a day, no sugar, no booze, none of that. 365, baby. New year, new me. I'm going to be 375 pounds, pure muscle, 2% body fat, and healthy.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Sounds like it's really worth it.
It's so worth it.
Yeah.
So we're going out with a bang. Hopefully this doesn't kill me.
Yeah,
so I got a big year ahead. Cheers, mate.
Dude, cheers, pal.
Let's suck this thing down. That is easy drinking.
What's this called?
Blood in the Sand.
Dude, I taste sand. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
I feel like it gives an earthy flavor to it.
Yeah, it's
actually really good.
Everything complements too well. It's kind of like jungle juice where you don't even taste the booze. There's only 1 ounce. And then there's sweet vermouth. So there could have been more, but like I'm going to drink this in 5 seconds probably. This isn't something you sip on. We're going to make martinis, but we don't have martini glasses.
Yeah.
And
we wanted to be fancy for the finale, but...
Yeah, I mean, this is something we just wear on the daily.
Yeah.
We usually dress up for the pod.
Yeah, these are my clothes, too.
We're going pretty casual.
I have my own dress clothes, not Tyler's.
But not bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
No. I do want to make a quick announcement. We do have a new guest on the podcast. It's this guy.
We do have a new guest, a new fellowship.
It's this guy right here.
I hope we don't get
he has
freaking demonetized.
He has a little butt crack out.
He's got a plumber's butt going.
He's drinking booze. Got one eye open. You can't really see him, just barely.
This is pretty sick. Where'd you get that?
I got it off Amazon. I saw it in a brewery in Quebec. I was just in Quebec, visiting family.
Yeah, you were in the Quebec.
Yes,
you can
baby.
hear all about it in the Christmas episode.
You can. That's
out
right.
now. And you had a great time, and
I
you
did.
brought back your own Osborne relic.
I did. Some poutine gravy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited. We're having some tomorrow, yeah?
We are, yeah. Some poutine.
Ooh, I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
And I can't wait for this episode, too, man.
Mm.
This has been a year in the making. This is an every year tradition.
It is.
We are ranking the best, the worst movies of the year. And we've seen a lot more this year than last year.
Yes.
So we have some sustenance. We have some girth for
And
y'all this year.
We need to make sure the next year is even more grandiose than this one.
But this is going to be an interesting list. Because we weren't on the same page this year as we have been in the past. So I'm excited to hear this.
It'll be interesting, learning lots of things. You know?
I can't wait. Is this the end of the episode? Is this where I punch you in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll save it
You're
for
about
later.
to, weren't you?
Let's rank these movies, buddy. All right, folks, it is time to review our top movies of the year. But first, we do have a drink to have.
We sucked down the other one.
It was sweet and succulent, and it was delicious. And we
too good.
sucked that sucker down because it was so sucking good.
Yeah, it was.
So what do we got now?
We have the Lance Hardywood Christmas Morning.
Wait, have you ever had this before?
I think I might have had a little sip of it.
I think I had it about 4 minutes ago.
Maybe when we, instead of pushing start record, I might have pushed start streaming. So if you're on Twitch, you might get a little sneak peek like my brother did, because I wouldn't have known until he commented, awesome MW3 gameplay. So
yeah, we didn't realize this was supposed to be a MW3 gameplay pod.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Yeah.
Advertised falsely.
For sure.
We'll take the blame, we'll take the fall.
Yes, but here's what the can looks like. Nice and Christmassy. Christmas morning. 55 IBU. Strong AF. Alcohol percentage is a 9.2, so we're not messing around right now.
It is pretty decent.
Let's dinker and sinker.
Up top,
It's good,
up
dude.
down below,
Oh, yeah.
and to the side. Beautiful.
Woo!
And it tastes like cold brew. Just like how we rehearsed it.
We
man.
rehearsed.
That's
Yeah.
not bad. Kind of bitter.
It's getting a little better
Kinda
after
weird.
this, but we have had some weird kind of drinks leading
Yeah, we had a
up to this.
citrusy beer, orange juice, and now like a cold brew milk stout.
Yeah, it's a drastic change.
It's sitting kind of weird in my mouth.
We could have had a Bud Light instead, but we chose this.
We chose this instead because this is the season finale, if you didn't already know.
It is, so we're getting a little
Yeah, we
messed
are.
up.
We're getting messed up. Are you
Yeah.
feeling buzzed?
No,
Me either. This
Yeah.
is normal me.
a slight buzz.
So let's kick this off, yeah?
Yes.
So this year we have a top 3 worst movies of the year. We've had a top 10, we've had a top 5. Now we're going top 3 because this year I don't think we saw as many bad movies, perhaps. 2024 movies, that is. I do want to say a quick little stat. We both have one. I saw 33 movies this year. And I think that's more than what we saw last year. Me alone. How many did you see?
I don't know how many I saw last year, but this year I saw 23.
Yeah, so combined, that's at least over 40 because we didn't see the same movies. Maybe
Yeah.
even 50-ish? I don't know.
I'd say it's close to 50, yeah.
Probably close to 50, which
And
might
then-
be a PR for us.
2025 is going to be a lot more. They're going to have a lot more movies in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Something this year that I got to do is go to the theaters more. I got to go
I
to
didn't.
different movies that happen, like premiere night, which is really unique, and I'll kind of talk about that in my top and not so top 10 maybe. Or, top 3, sorry.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's been an interesting year for movies. Mostly good, which is shocking. I feel like we complain a lot about movies on the pod.
We do.
It's going to be a fun time to discuss these top movies, especially since we saw different ones this year. And I want to know what you guys saw this year, too. You can interact with us on Letterboxd
You can.
at The Thunder Bros. is our Letterboxd account, I believe.
It is. That's correct.
And you guys can follow us. You can like our reviews. I have all the movies that I've seen this year. 33 reviews so far. I think you're going to input yours.
I will.
Before the video, this video's out, so you can check those out.
So you'll see those.
Yeah, so follow us on there, interact, like, comment, or whatever you do on Letterboxd.
It's a social media for movie reviewers.
Yeah, it's a great site. I really do love it. I'd like to see you guys there.
Yes.
So let's kick it off with our top 3 worst movies of the year. I repeat, worst. The worst ones.
The worst ones. Let me accidentally give you my best one.
Yeah, please. Burgess, we're starting from not the worst
No,
one.
I made it so I can't mess up,
3,
dude.
2, Burgess.
I am going to sit like this the whole time, though.
If you want to see a really interesting episode, 2 years ago we did a movie review episode, our top movies, and we only saw like 20. And Burgess got them out of order.
Oh my god. I know.
Somehow.
How did he do that?
Forgot about movies. So hopefully didn't forget about any.
Guy.
I did really look into the movies this year and like double check, like, is there anything I missed? And
I did
don't
too.
think so.
I went through all of our pods from this year and listened to all the movie reviews to make sure I didn't like miss anything.
Yeah.
So there's probably one or two that I somehow didn't rate and it got lost in the mix, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either. Some of these movies might be in the Halloween episode that's coming out pretty soon. But I tried not to include a bunch of Halloween movies because we saw like 20 each.
Yeah. I have like 2 in my list, so it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this.
We'll get into that more.
So let's get it out of the way. Let's go with the worst movies that we'll probably never see again.
Yes.
And how about you kick it off with your third up?
So
for
my
worst
third
movie.
from the bottom?
Yep, so the movie that was
making sure I have it right.
The runner to the runner-up of the worst. Don't give me your worst yet, old bird.
Okay, so here's my number 1 worst movie.
No,
I'm kidding, man.
I'll end this pod early.
All right, my number 3 is going to be Immaculate.
It's a miracle. You are with child.
Oh!
Yes, at a 3.4. We both saw this one together. It isn't too memorable because I know we did see it more at the beginning of the year. It wasn't during the Halloween season, even though it's included in that episode. But if I remember correctly, it gave a lot away. Didn't leave a lot for the viewer to really guess at, and just wasn't obviously memorable. I don't remember it.
Yeah, ended on a really just sour note too.
It did, yeah.
It builds up to Sydney Sweeney being kind of pregnant.
That's right.
You know, and at the end, like...
Yeah, and it's all, like, Jesus-y and stuff.
Yeah, it gets kind of weird and then kind of dark. Like, she gets pregnant by the finger of the devil or something like that, right? Remember, it's a little long, pokey finger in the box.
I thought that was a nail.
It might be a nail.
I thought that was the nail that Jesus was like...
that
was driven into his foot, so it had like DNA on it.
That's right. And somehow she had a baby, but didn't have intercourse with anybody, but got pregnant. And
I think they were like trying to basically Jurassic Park her uterus and kind of create a Jesus baby instead of a dinosaur egg.
But it was a miracle.
Being the capsule of life.
Yeah, and the baby was definitely evil.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert, she killed the baby, and it ends.
Yeah.
What a dark, twisted, sour note. It's
but
bad.
I'll always say this, and I'll stick to it. It gets bonus points because Sydney Sweeney's hot. Yeah.
So, it's not the worst movie.
No.
This didn't make my list, but it would have been number 4.
Oh,
The worst movies.
Okay, wow.
So, I'm going to give you my third worst movie of the year.
All right.
This is a Netflix movie. I gave a 2.8. It is Unfrosted.
2, 1, lift off.
I believe we have split the atom of breakfast.
Jerry Seinfeld directed this movie based on a joke that he had like 10 years ago on when he was a kid. It was on how the Pop-Tart was invented.
Oh, yeah.
And the joke is, when the Pop-Tart invented, he had the Pop-Tart. It was so good it made the back of his head like blow off, is what he said. That's the punchline. And he said, like, it's not my whole head explodes. It's the back of my head, and that's what's funny. Did you laugh
No,
on the
that's
inside?
stupid. That's
really stupid.
That's dumb.
So he took this movie that was based on a Pop-Tart joke, or he made the joke and then made that into a movie. If that makes sense. Sorry, I'm butchering this because it was that
So he
forgettable.
took a not funny joke and decided to make it into an entire movie.
Into an entire full-length
Sounds
feature
pretty
movie.
awesome.
And it has such a good cast. It has Jerry Seinfeld at 80 years old, who's super funny now.
He's 80?
I think he's close to 80.
No way, dude.
It has Melissa
God.
McCarthy, who's really hit and miss. You know, Tammy, really bad, but some of the other stuff's not
I didn't
terrible.
mind Tammy, dude.
It's okay.
That's
I
when
mean,
she
it's-
like steals identity.
That's identity theft.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
Tammy's a
about Tammy.
different-
I thought she was named.
She's
Tammy
in the
that.
Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah,
and then
nah.
she's in... What's that one, the superhero one? It's like a bunch of women superheroes.
I know what you're
It's really
talking about.
bad.
That one wasn't very good either. It was just middle of the road. I think I gave it a 6
Oh, man.
something.
But it has her,
It's pretty
and it
decent,
also
actually.
has Amy Schumer, and just not a lot of funny comedians. Schmidt from New Girl.
I like Schmidt.
I didn't laugh. Yeah, I mean, he's fine
In
in it.
New Girl, though, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't laugh at this movie at all. And there was one joke that was kind of funny, and then they totally ruined it because they didn't go all the way, because I think it was rated PG or something. This movie's only relatable if you were, like, alive in the 50s. Like, I just didn't get it. It wasn't funny. My grandma
Maybe
didn't
I
like it
get it.
either.
Really?
We watched it together, and she said, don't watch this movie because I had to go to work. And I came home and finished it. And I gave it a 2.8. This movie's crap.
Man, 2.8, dude.
It's not funny. It's my
Mine was
third
what?
worst.
3.4? Wow.
Yeah, 2.8, bro.
Yeah, you got some low ones coming then.
Yeah, oh, I do.
Yeah, all
I
right.
definitely do.
Well, my next one down the list, runner-up to worst of the year, we have Salem's Lot.
So why did you come back?
I'm here for research.
What exactly, though, are you researching?
At a 3.0. This
Yeah.
this was actually a surprising one. It was maybe not even an honorable mention for most disappointing, but like the step below that.
Really?
Yeah.
This was
Well,
a Stephen King adaptation.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
Stephen King, and I know they made an old one of it, so I haven't seen that one, but it's the new version of that. The cinematography, I remember, was amazing, and that's the only reason why it got what it did. Because I'm pretty sure I gave cinematography like a 9.5 or a 10 on our list, because it was very good, but the story was just stupid. It was cringy. It was just... Vampire stuff, just no matter what, it cringes me out. Probably
Yeah.
the least cringy vampire thing I've ever seen is honestly Twilight.
Really?
Dude, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Wow.
I just don't like vampire stuff, and
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think you just need to see it, but we covered this one in the
Yeah.
horror one, so I'm not gonna go too in depth on it.
Yeah, and I like to follow a couple movie review guys. Sean Chandler or Jeremy Johns are really good at this, and they had that in their bottom 10 too.
Did they really?
Salem's Lot, yeah. It was like a big letdown. I don't know anything about it, but I heard it's really bad.
Yeah, it's yeah. No.
Ooh. So my runner-up for worst movie of the year should not be a surprise to anybody who watched this flick or has even heard of this flick. It's Madam Web.
Hey, come on. Get your stuff. Let's go.
Oh wow! I thought it was gonna be your bottom one, dude.
No, it's not the bottom one. There's
think
one,
I might know
There's
what
one.
your bottom one
There's
is.
one worse, one. But Madam Web. If you like this movie, I don't know what you saw in this. Like, it's
There's something wrong.
it's objectively really bad. It's poorly made. Like the voice doesn't match up to the mouth when they're actually speaking in a lot of different
That's bad.
dialogue points. The story is just really stupid. Like, there's potential there. I did see a thing that a lot of the main female cast trained in martial arts for like 2 years to be able to like be Spider Women, and they're only seen as the Spider Women for like 30 seconds of the film.
No, that is the stupidest thing I've heard,
So
dude. That is messed up.
there's talks of this being like a Terminator version of Spider-Man, which is kind of cool. Like, Madam Web could potentially be in charge of stopping someone from killing Mama Parker from having Peter Parker. It's kind of cool. So they like go back
could be
in
interesting.
time, kind of to stop the guy who kills Mama Parker to basically make it so that Spider-Man never exists. But that didn't happen. And what we got was a really poorly made film that was not interesting at all. My Letterboxd, I basically said that it felt like a 5-hour movie. The script felt like it was written by an alien, and it was hot garbage.
Dude, I've heard you say that review more than I've heard you speak this entire year.
It's so bad. And I watched it on an airplane because I was kind of like handcuffed to it. There's nowhere I could go.
That's how you have to watch it.
It's the only movie I had downloaded.
Man.
And I powered through, gave it a 1.9.
I don't know if I'd be able to.
Cinematography's decent, I guess. That's
I
it.
guess. That's what saves it, dude. Just new technology is gonna up that.
Yeah, that's it.
But,
Bad.
I don't know.
Bad
There's still,
movie.
even though it's good quality, that's still, you could get some good angles and you get some bad angles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
there's a lot of bad in this.
I know, because I'm a
Oh,
film major.
The Sony movies were piss poor this year. God.
That sucks, dude. What a letdown. Here's a big freaking drum roll for this
I know what it
movie.
is.
Not even drum roll. I don't know. Wet sloshing noises to lead up to this.
Yeah.
This is my number one worst movie, and it is The Lord of the Rings, The War
Wow.
of Rohirrim.
All Middle-earth knows the tale of the War of the Ring. But 200 years before that,
Riders of the Mark, brothers of Rohan.
there was an older tale.
Did you just rip one?
That was your chair.
Yeah. It was mine. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, sorry, pal.
Drum roll, please.
Anyways, it matches up. This was an
perfect.
animated flick. We just covered it, I think, in the
That was
last
the most
episode.
recent one,
It was, yeah. Man, I'm not going to go into it too much, but I hate this movie. It pisses me off, so I'm going to try to restrain myself. But
I'm right here, buddy. I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
go
I know.
attacking me.
I know.
I didn't make the movie.
I'm looking at the camera right now.
Okay, good. Good.
But I gave it a 1.4. Yeah.
Brutal, man.
Nasty, dirty, stinky, rotten.
Offensive.
Yeah.
Bad.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. It's too bad.
Treasonistic.
Because I feel like it shouldn't be that bad, right?
No, it shouldn't be that bad.
And it's bad.
It's hot garbage.
I haven't seen it, but it is hot garbage.
Yeah, it is.
Same with my number one movie.
Yeah.
My number one
Which
movie
is...
it's The Mouse Trap.
Yeah, he's like completely in love with me already. It's totally disgusting.
Put the phone down! Put the phone down, please!
I was like, dude, I've already started.
No, Gina, turn around, please, Gina!
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was Challengers.
The worst movie
Yeah.
is Challengers? No.
I don't even know what you rated it or
That's-
remember hearing about it. I don't even know what it is. I just thought it was Challengers.
That's really funny. No, it's
I think I was thinking Voyagers.
no Voyagers. I gave it 0. I walked.
That's what I was thinking.
I walked out of Voyagers.
They kind of give me similar sounding. I don't know.
No, The Mousetrap was made by a bunch of Canadians, and it sucked. This
Tell
is
me
one of
about
the
it.
worst movies ever. We reviewed this in our horror movie list, and it was obviously the worst one. They managed to get the Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie IP.
Oh, that's right.
So they were able to use Mickey Mouse to kind of promote this movie. And the movie that they actually put out was cheap acting, cheap horror, a crap script. The suspense was terrible. The ending was terrible. There's nothing good about this. And some of the lines, I was like getting angry at the screen watching this.
I hate that, dude.
And it
That's
was
such a piss poor theater.
like I
time.
would feel bad if you sat through this movie.
Man.
Like it was so bad, dude. And like, no offense, Mr. Canada, 2023.
Yeah, all right, buddy.
But there's something about having like a movie when you're Canadian, having like a thick Canadian accent that works well in like Letterkenny.
Wayne, you gonna weigh in on this?
Well, there's nothing better than a fart. Except kids falling off bikes, maybe. Fuck, I could watch kids fall off bikes all day. I don't give a shit about your kids.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they were like, so what is this all about? Like, really emphasized.
Yeah.
And like, what are we going to do about it?
What are we gonna do about it, buddy?
And it was like that with like this killer mouse slaughtering people. And they're like, so how do we figure this out? Like, stuff like that. And I was like, oh,
I guess I can see why it doesn't really.
And they build
really
up to a
work.
point that Mickey Mouse basically wins and kills the main character. And it was like, what was that? What was the point of that? What was this journey for?
Who wants to like see that story or hear that story?
It was a cheap money grab. Is what it was, because
it's
had
like,
the IP address.
you can finally use Mickey now because the rights or whatever, right? That's that what happened. The rights got sold or something.
Yeah,
so
they were able to take that.
Now you can do it, and it's something that everyone's not been anticipating, but it's still big enough news where I feel like you have to do something with it.
Yeah,
and then you get this crap.
That's my worst movie of last year. Was I think the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. It was the same deal.
You don't need to turn Disney into horror movies. There's no point.
I know.
Just let it be Disney and let the Disney adults kind of freak out about it, whatever. Dude, but like, there's no need.
They're making a Little Mermaid horror movie. They're making a Bambi horror movie.
Why?
I don't know, because they
like,
can't.
Yeah, no, man.
I have no idea. It's going to be like low effort. It's going to be just so you'll click on the movie. I was a victim of that.
Yeah.
And this is the product. This is what we get. This is what I get. I have to suffer through it.
Crap.
I gave it a 0.6.
You know what? Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I only give zeros if I walk out of the theater.
You walked out?
No. I saw
so
it. I saw it in the comfort of my own home.
You contradicted yourself. Oh.
No, I watched it at home. It was on Peacock. It was a Peacock original. So I didn't walk out of the theater for this.
Yeah.
I gave it a 0.6 because there might have been a couple things that maybe got a 0.1.
Okay.
That's about it, dude.
I mean, so it's just a genuine suckerage.
It's a
suffering
suckerage.
Yes.
It's bad.
It is.
I don't want to talk about it ever again.
Let's leave it at that, dude.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
We jump into our top 10 movies of the year.
Well, before we do that, sir, I will choke slam you through this table.
Will you?
We have some awards to give out.
Before we hop into the top 10s, we're going to do our most disappointing and most surprising?
Biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise. That's the category.
Most disappointed. We got a couple awards to give out.
We do.
We want to give a shout out to some of the movies that might have missed our top 10.
Yes.
So, Burgess, take it away.
I have one honorable mention for a category as well, so a little bonus feature in here.
Give us that boner feed.
Don't miss out on that. So let's see here. Most surprising. Are we heading with that, or are we doing worst?
Let's do disappointment. Let's follow disappointment.
And
then let's get into some positivity.
Right now we're going downhill, and we're just about to...
Don't worry, it's going to dip and it's going to rise and climb high.
It is, dude. We're climbing Everest here. But before we do that, we're visiting the Marina Trench.
Yeah. What's
biggest
down here?
Disappointment.
Ooh.
Have any guesses?
I don't know. I hope it's not your number one worst movie. Is it?
Unfortunately, it is. I looked through the list, dude. I genuinely could not. I really wanted it to not be this bottom one, but it was.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
It's what it is. But my biggest disappointment is the Lord of the Rings, and that's the animated one.
Yeah, what's the name of the movie?
It's
You're just saying Lord of the Rings sucks.
No,
that's gonna offend a lot of people.
Lord of the Rings.
Me.
This is why it pissed me off, and it's the biggest disappointment because Lord of the Rings is some of the best films ever created. I don't care who you are. That's just facts.
It really
is.
Yeah.
So
I believe
the biggest disappointment is that the person who directed all those books, I don't even remember his name. What's his name?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Jackson.
Braxton
Jackson.
He directed this too, and I'm so disappointed. Why are we getting thumbs up? This is the opposite of that.
This is a thumbs down.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, come on! There we go. There we go.
Okay,
right over your face.
Man, anyways, it was so bad, dude. It was not what I was expecting. Well, no, it was kind of what I was expecting. I'm just pissed that his name is linked to this animation.
1.4 is like on the same level of like really bad movies, like the bad Star Wars movie we hate. It's that bad?
Yeah, it's just so sad. Like so many ways. It's like they're just trying to make money off of Lord of the Rings now. It's not a story anymore. It's just a money grab.
That sucks.
It does.
Like
it
the
felt
Mousetrap.
so rushed, dude. It just like
what a
TV shows
bummer.
that are like have hardly any effort have more work put into them than this one does.
Yeah.
It's so
Cartoon
stupid,
Network
dude.
episodes are better than that.
Yeah, for real.
I haven't even seen the movie, but I believe
it.
you.
It makes me want to cry and throw
Really?
up and pee all over the place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, this is my most disappointing movie. You didn't see this movie. This is not my bottom 3. This is a movie I was really excited for. It was getting really good reviews. It had a top actor who was getting really hot at the time. He was in a lot of stuff. Yeah, hot figuratively and literally.
I was expecting you to say Sydney Sweeney, and then
No. I'm talking Glenn Powell.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in a lot of movies. He was in Twisters. He was in Anyone But You, which I actually gave a positive review. I kind of like that. But the movie
Does this look like him?
Yeah, it does. No, you have to smile and look like a capybara. There you go. That's him. Very good. Keep it up.
I don't know what a capybara looks like.
So
I do, but I don't know how to make them.
Yeah, you did really good. I liked that. But my most disappointing movie of the year was Hitman.
I realized not everyone fantasized about the same Hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
This is serious. I am in service business.
And each arrest was like a standing ovation.
It was a Netflix special. I really liked the premise of this. It was a hitman who could become like different personalities. So he's really good at like being like a hick and being like a French guy and being this. So he could like
actor.
Yeah, he was like an actor hitman, but he was like not meant to be a hitman. He was just really good at like what he did on like a job. And this turned into like this love fest that I wasn't interested in because Glenn Powell's character ended up becoming not a great guy, and he was falling for this woman who was not a good woman, and so it ends on a note where two like not great people end up together. And Glenn Powell makes like the dumbest of choices.
I hate that, dude. When you're like screaming at the TV, you're like, no.
I know. It was like they just made him way more unlikable. It's like when
Why
you
would
hear
you
a
do that?
premise and you're like, that sounds really cool, and then you see and you're like, oh, that's not what it was at all. Which really is disappointing. I don't know why
clickbait,
people.
even.
Clickbait.
Yes.
A lot of people like this movie. I don't know why. Like, I wish you could tell me why. I thought it was boring, not a great story, and really lackluster. So I gave it a 3.7. Really disappointed with this one. I thought it'd be in my top 10, and it just wasn't. Honorable mentions.
That's sad. Especially, I mean, that's good at you. Like for this category, at least you expected it to be in the top 10.
I
and it wasn't.
thought it was going to be really good, especially with the hype around Glenn Powell. But honorable mentions was I saw the TV Glow. That movie I didn't get at all.
I saw that in the list. I don't remember talking about it.
People literally love that movie. Said it's like one of the best movies ever. I didn't get it.
There's no way. I need to see that. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, it was really just flatline movie. Didn't go anywhere. Man. And then another honorable mention was Beetlejuice.
That's the new Beetlejuice?
I gave it like a 3.9.
Wait, you saw that?
Yeah.
I heard
2
you
days
saying
ago.
Beetlejuice, but earlier, but I thought you meant just were talking about the first one.
No, I saw it 2 days ago.
Wow.
I saw it, and it was nothing like the first one. This movie, not great. Pretty disappointing because I saw the first one for the first time a couple weeks ago and really liked it. So it's another honorable mention, but Hitman really took a blow.
That sucks, dude.
Let's get out of this freaking category. Let's talk positive.
Let's do it. I was just going to say, though, real quick, I was looking forward to watching Hitman until you said that. Now it's like, I don't really feel it.
A lot of people like it, so you might enjoy it. I don't know.
Maybe, but it just sounds like it's going to give me, like, a lot of suspense and build up pressure and then not relieve it.
That's how I felt.
That's what it seems to me.
I'm pretty picky with certain movies, but, like, I mean, I don't know. I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
You can tell me why I didn't get it. Like, please, on the letterbox, I have it reviewed.
You do.
But I said the Glenn Powell hype is down after that. Damn. Maybe Twisters will change my mind. I didn't even see Twisters.
We didn't see Twisters. I know. That's kind of sad, dude.
Twist my nuts.
All right. Well,
movie sucked.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, twist them up all up in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, dude. My most surprising. This one, should I do honorable mention first, or should I do?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you can, whatever you want.
All right, honorable mention, Transformers 1.
Oh, okay.
Animated.
Okay.
This, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't see any of the trailers for it. I wasn't too keen on the animation style at first, as soon as I started watching it. But then I realized that the old cartoon, they had like those really big feet and stuff, and it fit the old animation style. I was like, okay. And I remember your dad talking about it and loving that, and I was like, there is like a good following behind this. I just don't know it.
I grew up on the Transformers animated movie from like 89 or 90 or whatever.
Oh, so yeah, I've never seen. I didn't even know that existed. I just
had it
knew
on
it was a
DVD,
cartoon. So I mean that makes sense for you since your dad loves it so much. But I didn't.
My
know
dad
what
actually
to
likes
expect.
Voltron.
Oh, he does. Get him out of
Burp.
here.
I was gonna burp, but respect.
Yeah,
I won't do it. Silent burp.
But yeah, it just really threw me off guard there. I liked it more and more, and it's like I just wasn't expecting it.
It's kind of grown a Peter
I
Griffin
could
on
watch
your
it
side.
again. Yeah, it's grown balls on my chin.
Okay.
Yeah. So my most surprising though, without a doubt, like it couldn't be anything else this year. It might be for you as well.
It might be.
But it's The Underdogs.
I'm just gonna say it's mine too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm Jason, 2J's Jennings. I was a football legend. But once you reach the mountaintop of greatness, everybody wants to see you fall.
This Underdogs DOGGS because it's a Snoop Dogg film.
Yeah, it is a Snoop
Which we
Dogg
clicked on
film.
and I was like, oh god, I don't want to watch this. But wow, was it completely way better than I could have ever imagined. I think we should just talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, together.
Well,
it was my most surprising.
What did you rate it as well? Because I rated mine a 5.9.
I gave it a 5.9 as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're on the same page. Which anything above a 5 is better than an okay movie.
Yeah.
Like 5 is okay. Underdogs was a little bit above that.
It was, which we thought it was going to be in like the ones.
Yeah, the expectations were really low. I mean, it was Snoop Dogg. It was like an Amazon Prime, straight to Prime video movie.
So we're like, oh, this is not going to be good, but let's kick off 2024 with a...
Yeah, it was like one of the first movies. And we watched it, and it took a minute to get used to. Like, obviously, it's really cheesy with Snoop Dogg. He basically plays like this washed up... Or he's not even washed up. He was a really good NFL football player.
Well, he's basically himself in a way.
Yeah, he's kind of himself, but like in football. So he's like, he's not as good as he was when he was in the league, but he still acts like he was when he was in the league. Still super cocky, all about the money, like just has that attitude kind of throughout.
It's a very believable character, and he did a really good job playing it.
The movie grew on me as it went along.
The child actors were phenomenal too. I remember that.
They were really good.
Which is really surprising.
They were swearing.
Like, this looks like really like I'm in this. I believe it.
They were like bickering with Snoop Dogg back and forth, and it was actually really funny.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I don't know why this movie worked as well as
and there
it
was
did.
even like a little bit of love interest from his like old high school crush that he just messed up on.
It was just like a fun, kind of funny film.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone who talked about this movie, really. Like, I didn't hear about it in any of the videos I've seen, but I'm glad we saw this. And we both felt the same way, because it was fun.
I know. It was fun, dude. It was a great time.
Yeah, most surprising movie by far. I'm trying to think if there's any others that were really surprising that didn't make my top 10. But I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Actually, one that I actually did think was decent was Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown. Your wife saw it and said she was yelling a whole lot.
I did actually go over that today with the wife, and because I was wondering if I had seen that and maybe just forgot I saw it, but I didn't see it, but she did.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of entertaining. Me and Chadley Passions watched that during St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a fun time.
That's cute.
But that's our picks for the most disappointed and most surprising movies. I think we should get into our top 10 best of the year. This is a big deal. We review movies for a living.
This is how we do this is our careers. This
Literally
is
what we do.
Make a living.
We go to Sundance, Venice. We go to LA, Hollywood. We go to California. We go to those places.
We travel the world.
We travel to California, and that's it, in Park City. And we review movies for a living.
We do.
So this is a big deal. These are the best ones we saw. Starting at number 10. What do you have?
What do I have?
At number 10.
My number 1.
I will kick you in the face.
My number 10 is...
Number 10.
Dee Dee.
Huh?
Dee Dee.
What is this?
D-I-D-I-D-D.
What the hell is that?
This is an Asian film, and it is amazing. It's done well. I'll say that.
I was gonna say your number 10 is amazing.
It is an indie kind of film. Like, I think it actually is Sundance Film Festival. But I think I know it won a lot of awards.
Is this a horror movie?
No, it's
Did I know about this?
Yeah, we talked about it, or I think I was bringing it up at least during the horror section of things because I did watch it around then. I watched it after.
Okay.
It's just a coming of age movie, drama. The main issue I had with it was that it didn't. It had a lot of anxiety built up, and it didn't relieve that anxiety. So, just a lot of kind of just like you're waiting for a happy ending, and then it's just kind of leaves you like, you know.
But
what
it's
I mean?
amazing.
But it's pretty well done. It is well done. It's a good story, and it's just straight up life for a lot of people. So it's a lot of connecting that you can do there. Okay. But I rated it a 7.1.
Not bad, dude.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty good. I've never heard of this movie. Maybe should I check it out?
Yeah. I mean, you might like it. You might like to watch it with Cel.
Okay. Yeah, I might check that out. Where do you stream it on?
I have no clue. HBO,
Awesome.
I think, possibly.
Can't wait to stream it.
It's either HBO or Peacock. Or Paramount.
Wow, it could be anything.
Just those three.
Just look up DD.
No, I think it was either Peacock or Paramount. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, DIDI. You know, it's a good story.
Okay, I'm not sold, but cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's number 10, so it's not going to be great, but it's pretty solid.
You did see 23 movies, so
I did.
This is technically like middle of the road.
That's true, but it's still a 7.1. That's pretty decently
that's
above
good.
average.
That is higher than my number 10.
What's yours number 10s?
My number 10 is first honorable mention. I'll say this.
I don't have any more honorable mentions.
My honorable mention that was just outside was Long Legs. That wasn't our horror movie pod. You can
I did
check
hear you
that
talk
out.
about that quite a bit.
This one is pretty decent, but kind of got a little too mystical at the end, so didn't make it in my top 10. My number 10 is Gladiator 2.
Rome must fall. I need to only give it a push.
We'll make it out alive. Alright.
Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
I gave a 7.0.
Wow, that's your 10. I was actually surprised about that.
That'd be lower or
I
higher?
didn't get to see. I thought it was going to be higher.
Yeah, this one was pretty good. It from the trailer, the first trailer looked really good. It had like some water warfare in the Colosseum, which was pretty unique. Paul Mescal was in it. Denzel Washington, who is obviously a pro. Pretty good cast. And it's a continuation from the first Gladiator, which people consider one of the best movies ever made.
I haven't even seen that one, dude.
Personally, I don't know if it's a little outdated or what, but it's good. It's not great. So
When did you watch Gladiator 1?
I saw it this year.
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So you watched it in prep. So I need to watch it as well.
Yeah, I watched it in
I also need
prep.
to see number 2, but I don't know. Now that 2024 is like coming to an end, is there a reason to watch it? I don't know.
It's a good movie. I think you would like it. There's decent action in it, good acting. The story's pretty decent. Paul Mescal does a pretty good job. There's a lot of funny scenes with him where he looks like a clay man, and he's like the drama looking face when there's like one sad, one happy. He looks like the sad one but happy at the same time. He's like like his face is like this but happy. And he's like, "Oh, my wife."
Okay.
And it ends with a satisfying conclusion. The big kind of downfall from this is I wish some of the action in the Colosseum was a little longer. There was some good stunts, and I did tell Selb during the movie, I wish I was a stuntman in this film.
Really?
There's like high falls through like this like wooden canopy that look really fun to fall through.
I do want to do a high fall through a canopy or something.
There's some high falls into the water. Like
you
into
need
the
to watch
ocean.
Django Unchained, mister.
I haven't seen that still. But overall, it was a fun time. Kind of better than I expected because one of the trailers had like hip hop in it and didn't really fit the Gladiator vibe.
Yeah, that's very
but
not what
it
I'd
was
expect.
pretty decent. It was better after thinking about it. That's my number 10.
Okay, nice, dude.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is A Quiet Place Day Numero Uno.
Oh, I didn't see this.
This was based in New York City. It had none of the main characters from the original few movies.
No Jim Halpert?
No Jim Halpert. But it started off with, obviously day one, how it started in the heart of the Big Apple.
That's cool.
And it was cool. I mean, they made it feel like a big city. Like, you really felt like you were in New York.
That's cool. I like movies set in New York.
Yeah.
Like, I love that type of environment, especially in the 90s, though.
Well, they had, I know, it was interesting. They had a lot of cool little stats of, like, how loud New York is, like 90 decibels per second or something. I can't remember exactly.
We've witnessed that.
But it's cool to see, like, it's this loud, and then by the end of the movie, you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
You know
Which, that's the main plot. Like, you need to be quiet.
You die. So a lot of people obviously died. Lots of crazy stuff. But I don't know. I feel like more people survived than they should have, in a way. And they didn't really show how the monsters got out of New York. So it would be kind of cool to see that side of things, too. It just kind of ended, like...
Is this PG-13?
I don't know. I can't remember. But it kind of felt like just the main character escaped New York, and now it's kind of over. Or contained. That's what it kind of felt like, at least. Like, it was, they solved the problem by just locking them in. Temporary solution. So it'd be interesting to see, like, maybe... Not day one, but maybe like year 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. How did the monsters get out? Because they can't swim in water.
Oh, they can't.
And they blew up all the bridges.
Oh, wow.
So they're stuck. But anyways, lots of questions. A good story, good monsters, good fun.
Nice. Would you rate it?
Oh, I didn't say that?
No.
7.3.
Oh, 7.3?
Yeah, I think I was building to something.
Nice. Okay. Very good.
Yes.
So my number 9 is a movie that might be higher on other people's lists. Probably yours. But I tend to think these movies are a little slow burning. It is Dune Part 2.
It's breathtaking. When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
Wow.
Gave a 9. Or it was my number 9. I didn't give it a 9.
Yeah.
I gave this movie a 7.3.
Wow.
I think the Dune movies are good. Don't get me wrong. They are good. It's just not my cup of tea. It's really slow. It's visually really cool. But at the same time, I could fall asleep to a just as visually and engaging show as, like, Planet Earth. That's what I kind of feel.
I mean, I can fall asleep to anything.
Yeah, definitely. But this movie, I mean, after seeing the first one, I was like, okay, that was pretty slow. I hope the next one kind of builds on top of that. It's good.
Yeah.
The second one builds on top of it, but still really slow.
It took a very religious route.
Yeah.
That I was not expecting. I'm not complaining about it at all, but it was just different than what I had pictured for it. But it was still an entertaining movie.
It's a good movie. It's acted well. It's visually stunning. There's some really cool scenes when Paul is on the worm and it's like flying through the air.
Compared to the first movie or whatever in the 80s or whenever the hell that was recorded.
Man. Awful.
Just standing there.
Yeah. But this one is like, it's pretty good. Just some of the things that stand out is Paul being this little scrawny guy that faces Austin Butler and kind of beats him at the end kind of easily.
Yeah. I thought that was dumb. I'll say that for sure. I'll agree with you.
He's kind of OP'd and I just don't buy it. So, I mean, overall, like, it's good. It's in my top 10, but it's not my movies of the year when a lot of people would think so.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm really big on story.
I feel like also having a character that you can't believe that they're doing the stuff they're doing is huge, because I'm reading even a lot of books right now that it feels like that, and it's hard to get behind that character because you're just like, can't see him doing that.
Yeah.
Well, let's just move on to my number 8.
Okay, your number 8.
My number 8 is going to be also from the horror pod.
Ooh, go check that out.
This is Caddo Lake.
What are you doing? Man, why you gotta be such a scaredy cat?
And I gave it a...
You talked about this movie?
I did.
I do not remember this in any way.
Really?
Caddo Lake?
Caddo Lake. C-A-D-D-O.
Okay.
Caddo Lake. This is a 7.5.
Sorry I didn't listen to you.
Dude, this honestly probably should not have been on the horror movie list, but it was because it was rated as a horror movie genre. But I don't really see how. I mean, I guess I could see how it would be scary if you were in that moment, but it was a whole kind of Tenet time travel cluster. Like it was fun to pick apart, and there was a lot of like in-depth thinking about the whole story. I think it was actually set here in Florida as well.
Oh,
so
I'll be damned.
Very, very good story. You couldn't really guess what was happening or like who was related to who or why this person knew this person until the very end. So it was fun. It's like you're trying to figure it out the whole time.
Kept you guessing.
Yeah, and then you finally did get it. And it was like, wow, okay, that's a twist after twist, and it was good. So I
ends
really,
on a high note.
Did well, kind of high note. Middle of the road, but enough where I'm like happy with it. Like, okay, that's a fair ending. So I dug it, dude.
What'd you rate it?
7.5.
Oh, 7.5.
Yeah.
Very good. Did you say it?
Did I say it? Yeah, I did.
Oh, I didn't know if you did or not.
Yeah, I said it more towards the beginning.
Oh, God. Okay. Very interesting. My number 8, I thought this is a pretty good movie. We both saw this together in theaters as well. Kind of similar to Dune. It's Furiosa.
I had a feeling because I compare those this year.
Yeah, I kind of compared these as well. I gave this a 7.5. I thought that this was a better action, more engaging story than Dune, and it's set in kind of a wasteland, a dunescape, you could say.
Very deserted, sandy places.
Yeah, very desert vibes. I haven't seen the Mad Max that came out a couple years ago in a while. I only saw it one time.
I thought you were gonna say you haven't seen it at all. I was like,
no
way,
Fury
dude.
Road is what it's called. I saw Fury Road a couple years ago. We had it on DVD, and I thought it was good at the time. A lot of people were saying this movie was phenomenal. I just thought it was good. So going into this movie, I like the fact that Chris Hemsworth was playing a villain because I feel like he doesn't really do that.
Yeah, that was interesting, and he did a good job too. It was
He did
fun.
a very good job.
It wasn't a villain that you just ended up hating. It was one that I mean, it's him, and you know it's him, but you can like respect that he did a villain role.
Yeah,
and you can still enjoy his character.
Yeah, and it's Chris Hemsworth, but it doesn't feel like Chris Hemsworth at the same time, and it kind of shows his
change. They had to physically change his features.
Yeah, they gave him like fake teeth, and you could see how much his his roles can expand. Like he can do like a really good villain, which I really like to see.
He always keeps
had a lot of
his
charisma.
humor a little bit, you know.
He definitely still does.
He keeps his charm.
So I liked him. I liked the main bad villain, the old guy with the mask and the long hair. He reminded me of the lead singer of Megadeth, who we've seen in person a little bit.
That's true. He has that long, it's like platinum, white hair.
Yeah, it's kind of
whitish.
whitish.
He has his ear next to the speaker the whole time.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. But visually, it was pretty cool. I thought it's a different movie. It's a different style. I was engaged most of the time, and I thought Anya Taylor-Joy does a really good job in whatever she's in.
Yeah.
And there was a couple twists in the movie because I don't know the lore of Mad Max very well that kind of got me. And overall, it was pretty entertaining, pretty visceral, pretty gruesome, and visually almost not as stunning as Dune. Dune's more stunning.
I would agree there,
but I was more
close.
engaged in the Mad Max movie. So that's 7.5. It's my number 8.
Dude, that's pretty solid. All right, my number 7 is gonna be Wicked.
You're green.
I am.
Oh, 7.
It is.
I thought it'd be higher. Okay.
No, it's very close to
a perfect movie. A 10.
Pretty close. Yeah. No, I just went into this movie I knew it was related to Wizard of Oz, but I didn't fully comprehend, and I haven't seen Wizard of Oz for years. So
I did a few minutes ago in the toilet.
Oh wow!
I took a Wizard of Oz.
Did you? Wow.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, I just wasn't expecting like I don't know. It didn't like click that those were two related movies. And I hadn't seen the trailers. The only thing I'd seen were a few clips of the main two actresses. I don't remember.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana
and
Grande.
Ariana. I just know Ariana Grande because everyone knows Ariana Grande, you know. But I didn't know she was a villain. If she was not, I had no clue.
I'm surprised. I saw the trailer. I couldn't not see the trailers for this. They were everywhere.
Dude, I just live under a rock.
If I watched
go on
a
social
TV
media.
show, like 1 half-hour episode on cable TV, a Wicked ad would come up probably
watch cable.
twice a commercial. So I saw it so many times.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they were hyping it up. It's a pretty significant movie. Definitely stood out in like a, I don't know. It felt different than all other movies we have seen or I have seen. It just felt like it was something that was needed in this year.
Are you a musical guy?
I did enjoy musicals. I also didn't know it was a musical. I didn't comprehend that.
This movie
That's how
was like
little I
on-
knew about
Really?
this movie. Yeah.
This was like on Broadway and stuff for years.
Dude,
and it became a
didn't
movie.
know till I was pretty much in the theater with Mags.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how little I knew. But I ended up really enjoying it. Ed Scott was in it.
Oh, he
He's
was
a
in
stunt
it.
performer.
Yeah, that's cool.
No clue in the library scene where all the books are twisting. He runs and does a front flip out of the shelf and dives through a little bookcase. That was Ed Scott.
Is an unreal parkour.
He's been on this.
athlete.
We've featured his clips before. I just spat
Ed
everywhere.
Scott was on here when we went to England and traveled there and
Yeah.
interviewed Storr and,
interviewed Ed Scott and Story yet.
and all those boys.
Yeah, but this movie I gave it a 7.9.
Whoa, your number 7 is almost in the 8s?
Mm.
Ooh, okay. I didn't see Wicked. I tried to see it, but it was literally full every time.
Yeah.
And I was in
Yes.
Utah and had to see Moana in the front row instead, with my neck like this, looking up at the screen.
Man.
Wow, that's cool.
That
I missed out on
sucks.
Wicked, and I feel like I missed out completely. I don't know if I'll see it. I don't know. It's a
You
3-hour
should
freaking
probably
movie.
still see it. I mean, I'm ready for part 2. That was pretty fun.
Wasn't it 3 hours?
It didn't feel like it though.
That's
Like
cool.
it genuinely didn't. It was just it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about it on a previous episode, but I feel like it was pretty woke in sometimes annoying ways. It felt like they're just like, we know this is an important movie and it needs to be pushed down your throats.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I understand it, but like for people who, I don't know, like understand that and don't need a wake-up call, it's a little bit much.
You had a woke award last year in
Yeah, I
our
did.
podcast.
That was Barbie.
It was Barbie.
Yeah.
This gets the woke award.
This gets the woke award
wow.
for
It gets
2024.
2 awards.
Yeah,
Very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that was your number 7, eh?
it was.
So my number 7, you're probably going to have this movie as well. It's
Yes.
The Fall Guy.
In 3, 2, 1. Action.
This is a love letter to stuntmen. Is The Fall Guy, which stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. It's a much different story than what I expected.
Yeah.
The Fall Guy was. It had stunts, of course, and it's about a stuntman, but it goes really deep into the stuntman's life. It kind of goes off track and ends up being almost like a spy kind of thriller, like a whodunit crime thing.
It's like a stuntman that gets involved in a little bit more and becomes the actual person doing the stunts IRL.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. There's some good stunts in this, obviously. There's got to be. But there is some points when it does get a little too much in, not necessarily the stunts, it goes even further into, it almost feels like a CGI-ish realm at some point. So I like that. I think it needed a little more like deep storytelling with stunts rather than just going over the top with stunts. Almost like the high-end fantasy fairy tale story as well.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if that makes sense to most people. It was good. It was a good movie, but it's not what I expected. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Not really. But overall, it's a fun time in the movie, and Ryan Gosling has a ton of charisma.
It felt like if you were to compare it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like the IRL version of a stuntman, more close to that, and then this one's more like a fantasized, like from outside the scenes, what like people who don't do stunts and aren't in the film industry kind of see stunt players at, or stunt performers, stunt performers as.
Yeah, so this movie was a fun time, obviously, as fellow stuntmen. Like, we definitely can relate to certain things about it, but it wasn't going to win the Best Movie of the Year award. I don't know if I thought it would be, but it's a good time at the theaters, and you can't really ask for more from that.
No,
So I gave it a 7.6.
Well, that's pretty good, dude.
So, good movie. I would watch it again. All of these
I would
movies
too.
now, I would totally watch again, which is, a really good thing for me. I don't usually want to just go see a movie right away after it came out, but this one, I wouldn't see it right away, but I would see it now since it's been a couple months.
Yeah. I would agree. I'd see it again, honestly.
Yeah,
so.
Fall Guy, not bad.
All right, my number 6 is going to be Transformers 1.
Port to Waste Management.
Hi there, I'm B127. I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
My honorable mention for
Have
most
you ever
surprising.
talked about this?
No, dude.
Tell me more.
But yeah, I have talked about it a little bit, so I won't go too in depth on it. But it was surprising, and I really liked the entire film. I would watch this again tonight. I recommend it, dude. I think you would really like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a kid's animation movie.
That's
you know
good,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it feels like it was made by people who can kind of grew up around the time we did a little bit, maybe a little bit older than us, and
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of gives like the same era as, I don't know, I guess they captured when it came out, like that original cartoon, they captured that time a lot. Like, I feel like it could be like a spin-off of something on Boomerang.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So
because like I said, I watched the old 80s, 90s Transformers, the movie animated.
They kept a lot of that style in there and kind of made it feel like that. But it was definitely modernized, don't get me wrong. But it still had some features from that. So I did really enjoy it. But
that's cool.
I ended up giving this an 8.0.
Oh, wow. That's not too bad, buddy.
Even. Yes.
You're in the 8s now.
I am in the 8s now.
That's cool. I might have to check that out. Not the biggest Transformers guy, but I did like the
Dude,
animated
but this
movie.
is a good one. You gotta check this one out.
Yeah, I've heard good things. So my number 6 here is a movie that most people might have a little higher than me, actually. My number 6 is The Substance.
People always ask for something new. It's inevitable. At 50, well, it stops.
This was a really...
I've heard about this a lot.
Talked about movie. Not just from me. A lot of people talk about it. It stars Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, I think, who also plays
Look for me for fact-checking. I know.
Yeah, Burgess is a great fact-checker. He knows everything about this movie. But this was one of those movies that really made a difference in the horror genre, especially for 2024, that had a lot of really good horror movies. A lot of them I didn't see, but a lot of people said this is a great year for horror. And this was kind of top of the list for a lot of people. It's a body horror, has a really interesting story that can relate to probably a lot of people. It's about getting older and wanting to be like a younger, better version of yourself and how far you'd go to get that and the consequences that come with that. And so becoming
a lot of give and take.
Yeah, it's like, you're older now, you're not in your prime, but what would you do to be in that point again? And just the different areas that they go with this, and
I can see that having a lot of flavor to it, dude.
It does. It literally has your heart racing at some points.
Yeah.
As a body horror, it is visually really tough to take in. There's a lot of points where you're looking away, a lot of they don't cut the camera, they're digging into the skin with a scalpel, syringe needles in, and obviously it's a movie, but they make it feel real, this could happen. And obviously it can't. There's a scene where Demi Moore's laying on the floor of her bathroom and her spine rips open and another body comes out of her own body.
What the hell?
And that scene is kind of felt like it could happen in a weird way.
That's crazy, dude.
And they did a really good job filming this. It was believable. And overall, just a really interesting new horror movie that was acted well and a really good Demi Moore movie for her, who's older now, but is hey, I'm still here. I'm one of the best actresses alive. So, good flick. Dennis Quaid was unreal in this. He was just an evil CEO, egotistical, like, bad guy who you just love to hate, and he's disgusting. Good movie. I would recommend it to you. I know you haven't seen it
I do want to see this one. This is one that's been talked about a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype. I gave it a 7.6. Shelby thought this was one of the best movies of the year. I really liked it, but there was a couple things that felt kind of repetitive, and I wanted the story just to move along. So that's why it dropped a couple points. But yeah, good movie. I recommend it.
Well, my next one, number 5, is going to be one that we've already talked about quite recently, so I won't spend too long on it, but it's The Fall Guy.
Okay, yeah.
And I rated it an 8.1. So there's not much more to talk about that we haven't already talked about. So honestly, I think I'm just going to pass it back over to you.
Okay. That's your number 5?
It is my number 5. I really enjoyed it. You know, I felt like it was a fantasized version of the stunt world, but it's a fun little rom-com version of it. The good parts.
Yeah, that's something we didn't cover. It is a decent rom-com, and it ends in a nice,
and it's a little bit of a detective film. You know, you're like, you don't realize someone has done something to the main character that's really inhibited his performance. So.
Yeah, I forgot Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it too.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. Shelby's like favorite guy at the moment.
Yeah, what? Because he has abs and he's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normally
it. Yep. So my number 5 is a movie you did not see. It is another horror movie. It's Terrifier 3.
You survived the most famous serial killer since Jack the Ripper. The 5-year anniversary is coming up. I think a lot of people would really like to hear from you after all this time.
I've heard about it.
I haven't
seen any of the Terrifiers.
An 8.0.
It's crazy for a horror, dude.
This was a movie that you had to see with a packed theater and late at night in a creepy theater, and that all added to this movie. The top kind of 5 movies here has an interesting kind of like vibe to it already. Most of these I did see in theaters, and that just adds to it.
Yeah.
You know, the night leading up to it, the crowd reaction, the people. But this is a movie that, with a full theater, everyone's screaming, everyone's saying WTF. People are looking away from the screen. It's just like brutal horror scene after brutal horror scene.
I'm just not into body horror, dude. And that
this
type
is
of
this
stuff.
is like a slasher, but it has
or slashers.
It has a really good story still, and the eeriness and the creepiness from Art the Clown is so.
Like his name's Art. That's kind of cool.
It is cool. And he has such like a unique vibe to him. It does feel like he's a modern like Jason or Michael Myers. Like it's that level of horror icon, except in our lifetime.
That I think he's definitely becoming that.
Yeah, and so just seeing the movie after a third one, it somehow kind of tops all the other ones for me. It has this Christmas element to it, which is really creepy, and kind of the antics that he has with Santa and a couple other people. It's filmed like in the winter, so it adds a different element there.
So this is a Christmas movie.
It kind of is, but
it's like Krampus.
Definitely horror.
Or Nightmare Before Christmas. It's that category,
yeah, I'd say you can
like
watch it.
Shouldn't be a Christmas movie, but it is.
I'm sure a lot of freaks will watch this during Christmas.
I'll watch it. Oh,
that's a great Christmas movie. But there is an argument of, did they take it too far? And there's some points when I'm in theater and I am like, I don't know if this is okay. Like, it was like, can you do this in film? And they did it. And there's a lot of people who walked out of the theater, and I could see where certain scenes where they would walk out, just kind of being mad and really pushing the violence.
I think I would have to walk out, or else, well, no, I probably wouldn't even be able to walk out. I'd pass out walking down the stairs.
Yeah, but like, even with that being said, like, there's certain movies that are good, and there's certain movies that kind of move you in a certain way, make you feel something. And gearing up for each horror scene, you know, you're like buckling up, like, okay, this is gonna be pretty brutal. What are they gonna do?
I can picture it, dude.
And you're like, here we go, and then you're like, oh my gosh. But you're with a group of people doing the same thing, so you react and like experience it together.
That's why it's nice having more people there. I mean, I don't know who would just be like,
yeah,
this is what I came for. This is what I want.
It's done in a good way. Like, the stories, it's not just like brutality and that's it. Like, the story's good, and that's what makes this an 8 out of 10 movie. Like, it's fun. It's a good movie, but it's insane. So that was my number 5.
God. All right, my number 4. Of course, we've already freaking talked about it, but it's Furiosa Mad Max Saga, and I gave it an 8.3. I really liked this movie. I am a lover of Mad Max and the Mad Max Saga. I think it's phenomenal. I love the fan fiction and all the cars that people mod to.
You love the fan fiction?
Yeah, especially the XXX rated ones. But the mods that people do their cars and stuff. Max and I saw one the other day.
You do get turned on by cars.
I love me
in
some
a weird
cars.
way.
Yeah, I'm a petrol head.
You love cars too and beans.
Yeah, I do. But no, it definitely though had some stuff that was lacking. It wasn't gonna go in the way that I thought it was gonna go. Like there was no actual green place where they went, where she like Furiosa grew up and stuff, which is probably the biggest disappointment that I've seen in that. But it was a very fun movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna stick too long on it since we've touched base, but
yeah,
I rated an 8.3. So
wow, that is.
I don't remember if I said that or not, but there you go.
Okay, my number 4 is a movie that I also have in the horror category, but we did not talk about in our horror rankings because I saw it post-Halloween. I think we talked about this movie already. I saw this in Tampa with a bunch of friends, and it was Heretic.
You fit through this? You're crazy.
Which came out this year. It stars Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant. He also stars in Love Actually, which I saw for the first time. Kind of a weird movie.
Never watched. Every time it comes on, I just leave.
Yeah, it's okay. But he does a great job in this movie. He plays this creepy guy who owns a house where these 2 female Mormon missionaries show up to talk about their religion. And Hugh Grant basically traps them in his house and questions their own religion and religion in general and their own beliefs. And it really puts you on the edge of your seat.
That sounds interesting, especially with Mormon religion coming from where we're from.
You need to see this movie. There's a lot of points where I was turning to my friends and being like, I get this. I live in Utah. I understand all this. I'm from there.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? And it was kind of fun to, be like, oh, I'm from Utah. I understand this.
I know what this means.
But on top of that, it was one of the most suspenseful movies of the year. It really puts you on the edge of your seat and makes you feel uncomfortable.
He doesn't kill him or anything. He just wants to know about.
I don't want to say much because I respect the movie. If you haven't seen this, check it out because it does have a suspenseful flair to it. It's acted well. The tension builds really slowly, but you're engaged the whole time, and you're trying to look at things off sight of the actual actor, and you're looking like, what is interesting about this house? Like, how can they escape? Like, what are they feeling? There's a lot of emotion that goes into this, and it ends in an interesting way where you have to kind of think about what you believe in with the ending and with everything else involved. So really interesting movie, and I gave it an 8.2. It's acted really well. I think you would like this movie a lot.
I think I will watch this one.
Check it out whenever it's available.
Heretic, I don't know why it just doesn't resonate with me. It's not a memorable name. It doesn't seem to me like, oh yeah, I need to remember to watch Heretic, but
no, you do.
I mean, I guess that's not that important, but
you need to see this. I
will. I'm just saying the name doesn't match up to what I would think it would.
You don't match up to your name.
Well, you know what? I'm moving on.
Okay.
And I'm going to my number 3, and that's Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about. Not my fucking problem. Is that what you said when your world went to shit? Come again.
Whoa. The 3rd Deadpool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked this movie. It was very fun. Mags and I watched 1 and 2 leading up to it just so we had a refresher, and I don't really have a whole lot to say to it, honestly.
It's your number 3 movie, but
it was a fun story. It was very entertaining. The visuals were good. It was fun watching Mags get turned on by all those hot, sexy men getting their clothes blown off.
Oh, Hugh Jack.
That was my favorite part.
That did make me laugh out loud.
That was funny.
When his clothes ripped off And his like extreme protruding abs.
Yeah.
Glistening in
and
the sun.
Mags.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's quite a looker.
Yes, he is. But I rated this, it's a tie, actually. I rated it an 8.3, but I think I liked it a little bit, a hair more than I liked Furiosa. It's very close.
It's a fun time.
I think the abs and getting clothes blown off worked more for me. I think if that would have happened to the Queen's Gambit, then maybe I would have been happier. But I'm not a cynic or a freak.
You'll take Hugh Jackman, though, when you can.
I will.
Very nice. So my number 3, I have not reviewed this movie yet till now.
Wow.
I saw it recently on Christmas Day. It is Nosferatu.
I've never shared my secret with any soul.
You've had these spells since childhood. Tell me what you can from the beginning.
This movie was one of the best horror movies I've ever seen in my life. I'll say that.
That's crazy, dude.
I'll say that
because
right
we were
camera.
literally about to go see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we should.
I don't know if we are or not.
This is probably the only movie I've seen this year where I would see it right away again.
That's crazy. Nosferatu.
There's a vibe.
I have a painting of Nosferatu right there. Yeah, you can see him.
It's literally right there.
Yeah, he's creeping in.
There is a vibe to this that is unlike most movies I've seen. It's by the director who did The Lighthouse, The Witch, The Northman. He's only done those 3 movies, and he's done Nosferatu. This movie, since we saw it on Christmas Day, like opening day, the crowd was packed. And we didn't really know much about it, which was great going into it. This has like a weird sexual energy to it.
Even I heard there's a little prosthetic penis in this.
Dude, don't spoil it for everyone.
Sorry, sorry.
It has like, even though Nosferatu's really creepy, like it builds this story and this tension and this time period really well. I don't want to spoil too much since we've seen it, but they did a really good job hiding certain things of this movie so that when you see it, you get the full experience of Nosferatu. It's an adaptation to Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula and all that. It is kind of, people say, like a ripoff of it, but this is one of the best horror movies I've seen because it's not cheesy. It's acted really well. And
that's cool.
There's been a couple different Dracula Nosferatu adaptations. I put my Letterboxd review, I don't think you can make another Nosferatu movie for over 100 years. This is the standard for Nosferatu. Wow. I don't know how you make it any better.
Well, I definitely want to see it because all I've said about vampire movies is that they suck and Twilight's the best ones.
This one's
so this better blow me out of the water.
It's really
and it sounds like
interesting.
It will. I know I painted him for a reason, dude.
I know. I think you'll like it. So
the only reason I ever painted this guy is because of SpongeBob anyways. Turning off and on the lights.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good. I don't know anyone who hasn't liked this movie. It's great. It's my number 3.
Hell yeah, dude.
My only number 3.
Dude, number 3. Moving on to number 2. This is getting into the nitty-gritty runner-up. And mine is resting on Society of the Snow.
¿Sabemos dónde estamos?
Oh my god.
That's 2024, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was very beginning of 2024. Very early
this
on.
Is the
started Selb's, your wife and producer, Selb, started off her year pretty badly.
Yeah.
A lot of cannibalism, and it's a true story. And true, like, real pictures in it, and man, it is real.
I came into this movie kind of late. I might have been at like Flatbacks or something. I might have been wrestling.
I think you actually were.
And I came home late, and it was midway through the movie, and it was just like really hard to watch. This is kind of a 2023 movie, right, kind of a 2024 movie. Yeah. It's like right on the line.
Yeah. I remember you coming back, and we had to go back and replay the plane crashing scene because it was the most insane, realistic never seen this type of film before, but when the plane crashes at the beginning, that is insane.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can find a clip and throw it up here because it's just wild, but we'll see.
You want to add that?
I mean,
it's pretty tragic,
I'll add
dude.
the parts that aren't brutal, if that's even possible. But if it's not up on screen, you got to go check that out. Cause, man,
if you have the stomach and heart for it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It feels real. Plane crash, not fun.
Yeah, it's based on
it's not
a rugby
the
team.
Teletubbies sunshine, baby.
No, this is based on a real life rugby team,
yeah.
right? And they crash in like Argentina or somewhere like that.
In the mountains in Argentina, yeah.
And they basically have to survive until someone finds them, and they.
They had to go find people. They managed. Some of them managed to get out and find people.
Yeah, they found people. I didn't rate this because I didn't see the whole thing, but just the things they have to do. It's based on a book, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just like.
Well, I mean, on the real story.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Well, you want to go into your number 2?
I think I want to go into my number 2. So this is a movie that you thought would be in my least favorite movies. It was one of my most favorite movies I've seen.
Oh.
It's Challengers.
You were incredible today.
Thank you.
I mean, it wasn't even like tennis. It was an entirely different game.
Wow, I just linked it to Voyagers.
Yeah, no, not the same thing whatsoever.
No.
Challengers came out like earlier in the year. We saw this movie together. It's a tennis movie starring Zendaya and 2 other boys in this flick.
Wait, I saw this too.
You saw this movie as well. Did you not rate it?
No.
Yeah, I was surprised it's not on there.
I completely forgot about this.
We saw it a long time ago.
I linked it so much to Voyagers. I thought it was a space movie, dude.
Nope, it's a tennis movie. And this was such a unique watch. I didn't have a ton of expectations, and I'm really happy we saw it. The tension that is built in this is like none other. I was sweating watching these guys sweat profusely playing tennis.
I can't believe I didn't rate this.
This movie has 3 main characters in it. There's no one else I can remember. But yet they build this tension and have this story with just these 3 where not a whole lot really happens. Like, it's filmed.
It doesn't,
really
but you're so
well.
into it. It's just like a dark kind of, I don't know, love that some people want to experience. But
yeah,
I mean, it's like you don't actually go and do that because it's out there. It's not normal.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie with that specific story, and I've never even thought about something like that being a story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's acted really well. The tension builds really well. Like, I remember sweating kind of getting up to it. And it ends in a way where you don't really know what the outcome is, which is kind of fun. And it ends with the main characters, like, you don't know if, like, as tragic, I guess, as it ends, if that's what they really wanted. Like, if you've seen this movie, you might know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, like, this is a better movie than advertised.
It is.
It, like, feels like it's just, like, a throuple
movie. There's a lot more to it than... Yeah, it's in a completely different category than just a love story.
Yeah, as much as it seems like it's like kind of explicit and like this 3-way relationship.
There's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, it's not that superficially.
And the coolest part is they play the same song.
Yeah.
But every time they play that song, it's like Pavlov's dogs. Like when they ring the bell, it makes you drool. Like you know that's like something is linked to that song.
Yeah, it's a sports movie. It has drama, romantic elements. It has a lot of suspense. And this movie made me feel something afterwards. Kind of like Nosferatu, but this, to me, was like a really unique and surprising watch. It's my runner-up for Movie of the Year.
Well, unfortunately, my stupid idiot brain, of course, I always have to mess up the finale.
We had the poster.
Dude,
of this.
I know we do. This movie deserves to be runner-up for me as well, so I'm not moving anything, but it's my honorable mention for runner-up, so it should be in the list. Unfortunately, it's not because my brain is too smooth.
That's okay, man.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I still try to represent it, man.
Yeah, I wonder what I rated it, but...
I have no idea. I gave it an 8.3.
Okay.
It was tied with...
Society of Snow for me was an 8.4, so maybe it'd probably be around that area, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was tied with Nosferatu, but I remember... even though it's been a while, I remember this feeling something more to this.
Dude,
that,
yeah, I
that
can't.
means a lot
yeah,
to me.
Right as you brought that up, dude, I lost the Voyagers and the real movie came through.
Yeah, that's good. Don't think about Voyagers. Bad movie. I walked out of the theater on that one.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, no.
Waste of money.
All right, number 1. I haven't talked about it yet. You might be able to guess it, but
I think I know.
It's Dune Part 2.
The end of House Atreides. Your father didn't believe in revenge.
Wow.
It's my number 1 movie, and this is your number 10. It's kind of crazy, dude.
Number 9.
Oh, is it? What was your number 10?
Gladiator 2.
Oh, that's right. All right, number 9.
I can understand this being your one, though.
I definitely didn't expect the religious aspect. Like, it went different ways than I thought, but just the beginning, like the filters they use, like no other movie can you really use such stark filters where it's just orange and then silhouettes, you know, and tell so much of a story. It was artistic. It was amazing. I just had fun the whole time. The soundtrack's just... All I have to say is good stuff, so I really loved it.
Yeah, this is up your alley.
Other than the only thing I would say is it could have gone a little different route than religious route, even though, I mean, I know it has to all be linked, but for some reason my brain wanted something that I couldn't even fathom in real life and think of the possible outcome.
Yeah.
So it's my number 1. There's no doubt about it. What did I tell you what it was rated as?
No, you did not yet.
I just put my book away. Let me see. It is rated at a 8.5. That is my highest rated movie of 2024.
Wow, not bad. We didn't see anything groundbreaking, I feel like.
No, I mean, obviously that was the closest for me, but...
I gave Iron Claw like a 9.1. That was my top movie of last year.
I was going to say, is Iron Claw 2024 too? Because I was going to say I did not freaking add that.
No, it was 20...
That was
you
a
saw
great
that?
movie. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, that
what a
almost
great
made me cry. That was my top movie of last year.
Yeah, that was a good movie, dude.
But my top movie of this year, I also gave an 8.5. Do you have any clue what it could be?
I actually have no clue.
Okay. It is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, really? I don't know why I thought you said that already.
And this is based on the rating scale. And maybe if I were to sit back and make a list, I maybe would have put this differently, maybe lower. But I'm going off the rating scale, and that goes off of how I felt at the time.
Yeah.
This was a movie that Shelby and I went to at Universal Studios, which is a really cool experience.
Yeah, that adds to it, too.
We got the Deadpool and Wolverine cocktail that they had there, so that was cool. Nice. They had, like, a bunch of posters and, like, places you can take photos with down there, so all of that kind of leading up to it was really cool. The hype was there. Especially as like a Marvel movie, you know, that's always feels like an event, and we haven't had that with a Marvel movie since like Endgame. So it felt like an event. Like we drove like over an hour to get there to see this movie, and with all that, like it was just a really fun time.
Yeah,
right off the get go with the NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, whatever it is, intro with the skeleton.
Dude, I still think about that's a very memorable scene.
Just fun.
Yeah.
And what's cool about Wolverine and Deadpool is they can't die, and so the fight scenes are unlimited.
Yeah,
like they
they're
can
pretty
keep
brutal.
killing each other over and over again. Unlike a normal fight scene, like you stab someone, they're dead. They can keep stabbing each other, keep punching, keep doing crazy
There's no
stuff.
end. It's just the end is when they're both physically exhausted and can't go anymore, and they're just like, all right.
Yeah, it's great. And as like stunt guys, like we love to see action like that, and when it's done well, and it was done well. The beginning scene, the scene in the car when they're fighting was great as well. When they're in like the little like
that's definitely what comes to mind the most is that car scene, just because it was such a tight area, and that was cool.
Yeah, and you know the story you could kind of like dismantle and be like, this doesn't make any sense, but to me, like, I had so much fun in this movie. I was laughing, I was crying, I was enjoying it. I was all the emotions, happy, sad, and it added it perfectly. And like for a fun Marvel movie event, this was great.
It was
8.5. It's my top movie of the year.
Definitely good. I think I rated it an 8.3.
I think so. Yeah.
8.4 is the total. So.
Yeah, I mean it was just a fun movie. I'm surprised it's that top, but like I'm really big on if I was super entertained, that's going to be way above something that's a well done film but not as entertained, like Dune for me. I'm like really off of vibes. I really go off emotion. And
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun during that. That's
Yes.
my number 1 movie of the year.
Wow.
8.5
Very good, dude.
across the board.
That is a good way to end the episode, end the season,
I'm
end
gonna
the
shake
year.
your damn hand.
Yes, buddy.
We've been doing this for years now.
I know. We're on to season 5. We are about to become kindergartners in the podcast community.
Yes, we are, buddy.
Yeah.
Where
that's
can you
impressive.
watch this or listen to this?
You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, but most importantly, please watch us on YouTube. That is the route that we're kind of going towards. Slowly but surely, we are both dunces and like to mess things up quite a bit, but we are slowly figuring it out.
Yes, we are.
But yeah, go follow us, Thunder Bros Pod, share, subscribe, comment, like, whatever. Just anything helps. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. That helps with the engagement and stuff. So it's been a great season. We look forward to hearing what you have been watching this year. Because I know all of you tell us everything that you've been watching.
And I'm going to cut you off because I have to punch you in the face right now.
Oh, okay.